Pickleweed Community Center is really the heart of the Canal neighborhood. This is where all the people in the Canal come for fun activities, for learning, and for just a place to be that's safe. And it's just really a great center for our city.
People have the idea that only Latino young men, jobless young men, are living in the Canal, which is not true. People come from all over the world, immigrants from Asia, from Latin America, also from many places, and they are families. They've lived there for a long time, and there's a sense of community.
Pickleweed has a soul. It's alive with energy that we don't see in other places. It's not just a facility, it's a home, it's like coming home.
Sometimes I come here and study, sometimes I come here and play.
It's a real center of neighborhood activity, of family activity. It's kind of the heart and the soul of the neighborhood.
We don't have any difference between one race or another. So Vietnamese people and Latino people and Anglo people and people from every part of the world is living here, and everybody can, gather together and celebrate together. It's the price of this community.
The Pickleweed Community Center, well, it's very special because it's the only community center that we have. We are living in this area. We live like, I don't know, maybe 10,000 people. So the community center is a vital part of our community. Here I came for classes when I was learning English, and then I moved to College Marine and then other places. But here is where you start.
There's a library for the kids, there's activities after school. It replaces the extended family. When I was growing up, I would come home and there would always be someone. And people from different generations were together. I like to see that, and I think that in a community center like Pickleweed, you have it. In Latin America, like in most third world countries, people live in their homes, but they get together in public places. Usually in the plaza, there's a time in the day after everybody has finished their work when everybody gets together and there's music, and you see the teenagers in the paseo, they're walking around looking at each other, the mothers are watching and gossiping, and they talk politics, they play chess, there's sports, there is dancing. Every celebration of the community is done there. And I think that a community center has that role, the role of providing a space where people get together to learn about each other, to be together, to interact, to celebrate, to grieve.
We consider the Pickleweed Park Community Center the central address for the neighborhood. A lot of the folks live in high-density housing and apartments, and they really don't have backyards. Even some of them don't even have patios. So folks come down here to use the soccer facilities for their games that are going on behind me now. They use the auditorium to have their quinceañeras and weddings and baptisms, and they come down and take English classes to better acclimate to their new culture here in America. So what makes it unique is that we're really serving a lot of needs based on what we've heard the needs are rather than what we think they are.
First of all, I have to say thanks very much to the city of San Rafael and the Pickleweed Community Center. I have 3 programs. The first one is the Vietnamese language for the kids from 7 to 12. And the second program is the ESL for the newcomer here and for the senior. And the third program is citizenship class. I would like to help the people become citizens.
The whole point of a place like Pickleweed is to bring people from different ethnicities together so that they can learn from each other, get along with each other. You know, what creates a state of violence in a community is that people are afraid of each other because they don't know each other. And then if you get people to work together and exchange what they have brought to this country, you enrich the whole culture.
This is the hub. This is where there's a lot of other community-based organizations come and run different activities from, I would say, from 0 to 80, easily. There's senior programs here, there's stuff for school-age kids, there's high school students here, and the diversity. It's amazing how the center gets used. We're serving right now 50 kids in our after-school program. We're helping kids with homework. We do a lot of arts and craft activities, we do sports, Right now we're doing Aztec dancing. Space is definitely an issue for us. We've got about 40 kids right now on a waiting list. In fact, we had to close it about a week ago because those families aren't going to get in.
We're on a mission to really make this a completely redone center and expanded center, and we've raised close to $6 million of a $7 million goal. The reason we're putting a learning center here in the library is that this is what the community has told us they want, and this is the needs of the community. We're trying to address that need. And not everyone that lives in this area can afford a computer, as an example. So we'll have computer access available to them so students can learn, adults can learn and use a computer as well.
We conducted almost a year-long process to determine what people wanted to see here at Pickleweed, and that included small group meetings, in-home conversations with people, written surveys, and then a host of meetings conducted by the Pickleweed Advisory Board. And what was determined was that people were very passionate and very vocal about how they wanted to see Pickleweed grow. They want more space for educational programs for both children and adults. They asked for more space for art, because there's no dedicated art space in the canal. So we have 12,000 square feet here. We're going to renovate all 12,000 square feet and add another 12,000 square feet.
You can join two types of gangs. Gangs that do bad things and gangs that does good things, like a soccer is a gang, or basketball, or dance. You know, they look for a group where to go, and when there are no choices, they just hang out in the corner to get into trouble.
Most people in the canal area are not wealthy, and they live in very confined little apartments. Many people in the same space. There is no space to expand, to celebrate, to share anything, because you are there in a very small place. So Pickleweed offers that space. Maybe people who have a higher income don't need it, but in this community it's really important. Frankly, I don't know if being affluent is so great after all. I mean, sometimes you lose a lot. You lose a lot of the flavor of life, of the sharing, of the stories, of the struggle, of the color of life.
Pickleweed is like a cathedral to this community. It's a cathedral of living stones. It's a cathedral in which the people come together, they gather together, they remember where they came from, they look to their present to see how they can better their present, and they plan for their future. It's a place where their life is and comes. It's the backyard, it's the front yard. They play here. It's wonderful. It's a special, special place.